Finger picking. Good rockabilly finger picking doesn't have to be absolutely perfect like Chet Atkins or something. That's, you know, spot on perfect stuff. The good part about the rockabilly stuff is, you know, it can be messy because you have those strings droning and you have some fun with it. All right, yeah, that's... I just want to explain one thing, that you can have, what I'm doing is, again, major 6, and then I'm just throwing them in there and playing the riff, and it just kind of works. That's just kind of experimenting. It's actually the same chord, but I'm just playing around with notes that are in that chord, and then bringing it back into the E. Whoa! And we're back. Well, that was good fun, good clean fun there. Some of it was a little dirty, a little distorted, but that's part of the fun. What did I want to tell you here? A lot of the stuff I did in that, first of all, a lot of that stuff live flies out the window, because live you're kind of just really going for it, and you can just bend a note and live on that note and get in somebody's face in the front row and hold the guitar at them, and that says more than kind of doing a lot of fancy quick stuff. But I'd like to show you some of it. Let me show you this. This is a nice little sort of bebop run. After I come out of the finger picking, usually, I like to always mix it up. So in other words, I'll start. chord to play off of right there. It's an E9, and you lift up your pinky. Da-na-na-na-na. It sounds like a harp chord. And you finger pick off of that. That's a nice one. So usually after I come out of that, I'll go into like a sort of single string thing. That's just all single string bop. So I start on an E scale, and an E scale, of course I can use those passing tones to make it work. Then I drop down to a little diminished scale. So let's run by that again. I'm in E. Then it goes into the A, and I'll do something really funky and play this diminished thing. And then I'm back in E. And that's just a little sort of picking thing, so it'll sound like this. Like that, go back into finger picking, or if you got a Bigsby, they're all for fun to go. Get a little seasick with it. Okay, let's see. I have a bunch of pedals here that really I don't rely on. They're kind of just for fun, you know, really. It's kind of like bells and whistles. Really the sound comes out of the guitar. And my fingers. For some reason, I get more of a sound out of a hollow body instrument. I was never really able to play a solid body guitar and get a really good tone out of it. I find that the instrument really, a lot of sound comes out of it. It really breathes. And I play with it. I go by the amps and get feedback from it and shake it and rattle it and kick it. So on something like that, just to keep the entertainment factor up, I maybe would kick in some of these pedals. This is an octave box that I use. It's kind of neat for double and single string things only. You can't play chords with it. I'll show you how it works. Woo! Yeah. This is a chorus, which is nice for, you know, we're in love. Just use a little bit of it, gives it a little swirly sort of feel. That's nice, especially if you're playing with a three-piece band. This is a tube screamer thing. It's for, you know, overdriven sound without getting a lot of, well, without getting really any more volume. You could actually make it lower, but it just, you know, it beefs up for a real screaming sort of. Be wild. And the next one is, I think, about the same. It's just to a lesser degree of sustain for a little less of a distorted sound. It's about the same thing. And then the wah wah is kind of fun. You can do this pedal steel effect with that. Woo. Pretty neat. All right, some more things that I just played. little tricks and flourishes and stuff like that. This is cool. Like that. So this is just an A, right? Like an A6, and I'm kind of gliding my pick over these while muting on the bridge. So I'm pulling off on the last one. I'm just changing the chord and descending with the melody lines, but it's pretty much an easy thing to do. I just pull off. Okay, now you're an A, and you want to think of something cool to do besides play something in this position. Which everybody knows, that little sort of run, and people run off of that. Okay, so now suppose you're going back and forth from A to E, and you want to do something a little different in A. Why not try something like what I would do is like an A9 run, and that would be. It brings me right back into E. So here's the beat. And that's breaking out of that really neat little bop thing, which is kind of innocent. And then you go into that, that's like a triplet. How I play that: thumb, thumb, middle finger. It sounds pretty awesome when you can get up to speed. It's really neat. And then I'm just going down the scale. Again, those are just notes that are popping into my head that are off of an E chord. Then you're an A. That's it. Okay, now suppose I want to do a little sort of bending thing. It sounds really cool when you don't use the pick and you use your fingers to pop the strings when you're bending. It's a kind of popping the strings there, and you're bending the string either up a third to match the note, and then you hold that. Or you're just bending it a little bit, like even less than a half a tone, a quarter tone, just to make it sound funky. So here's the way it would sound. Wow, surprised even me that one. That's pretty cool. I got to do that more. Now, suppose you want a different sort of sound on a pull-off. Everybody knows this little pull-off, right? Pinky, third, pull. Well, you can start on that. That Sounds really neat. It sounds like a trumpet section or something. What I'm doing there is I'm just pulling off both strings at the same time with my fingers and just kind of, you know, breaking rules, messing around. Those notes shouldn't work, but because it's going by so quick, it sounds cool. So you start off. All the way down. Wait a minute. So I start off. That's it. Cool bends. Okay, let's take a funky sort of beat like. That's just all keeping my thumb going. It's kind of like riding a bike, really, just getting that. Keeping the thumb going on the low E. And the rest of it is all double string stuff that's based around an E. Those are all in the E chord. All that works. And up here. This one's really neat. And while your thumb is hitting it, you're kind of doing all that funky stuff around it. Thumb has a mind of its own. Oh, let me tell you a little bit about the delay that I use. This is kind of your standard. Well, I don't know if it's standard. No, I think I'm kind of made it up, really. This is what I heard on the old Sun records, and it's kind of like one note and 3 delays after it that come really quick. Bop, 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 bop. Really quick. That lends a nice, for something quick, that's like a really nice sort of sound. You can also set the delay for a slow sort of thing if you're playing a ballad to make it really washy sounding. I'm going to get up and do that. So this would sound like this. Now that's the blues, and that's a little song that we did with the Stray Cats, that Lee, the bass player, was saying, called Drink That Bottle Down. And I got to sitting around one night thinking, well, that's great, you know, but I wonder if I could do something more, if I could change the chords and still make it work, rather than just going blunk, 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 blunk. So I thought, let me try something, and I came up with this.